Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, what if we're not alone? Back in 1977, Steven Spielberg answered that question with one of the most iconic sci-fi films of all time, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. But beyond its glowing mothership and 5 unforgettable musical notes lies a universe of secrets, controversies, and behind-the-scenes stories that most fans have never heard. From real-life UFO research that shaped the script to NASA warnings, secret cameos, and director regrets, this movie is far more than just a tale of alien contact. It's a cinematic landmark full of hidden depths. Whether you're a longtime fan or discovering it for the first time, prepare to uncover 11 mind-blowing facts that will forever change how you see this classic. So, cue the lights, signal the mothership, and let's begin this journey into the unknown. And just before we dive in, I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers as a small channel. If you'd like to help me keep digging, hit that subscribe button. It truly means a lot. Here are 11 mind-blowing facts you didn't know about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. 1. Steven Spielberg turned down Star Wars. In the mid-1970s, 2 young directors, Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, were on the brink of reshaping Hollywood forever. While Lucas was developing Star Wars, he approached Spielberg about potentially directing the ambitious space opera. Spielberg declined, already deeply involved in his own science fiction vision, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He was fascinated by the idea of peaceful alien contact, a stark contrast to the action-heavy, war-driven narrative of Star Wars. Ironically, both films debuted within 6 months of each other in 1977 and became genre-defining hits. Spielberg's decision paid off, as Close Encounters carved out a unique identity with its emphasis on awe, mystery, and the emotional toll of extraterrestrial contact. Meanwhile, the 2 filmmakers remained close friends, even making a famous bet: Spielberg would earn a portion of Star Wars profits in exchange for a piece of Close Encounters, a deal that ultimately worked in Spielberg's favor. 2. Based on real UFO reports, Close Encounters of the Third Kind wasn't just a product of imagination. It drew heavily from documented UFO sightings and government investigations, particularly the U.S. Air Force's Project Blue Book, a real-life study of UFO phenomena that ran from 1952 to 1969. Spielberg was captivated by these reports and the idea that many people had experienced encounters they couldn't explain. He also consulted with prominent ufologist Dr. J. Allen Hynek, who helped classify different levels of UFO contact, including the third kind, which refers to direct interaction with alien beings. Hynek not only advised on the film's authenticity, but also made a brief cameo appearance near the end. Spielberg's aim was to create a grounded, almost documentary-like feel to the film, which contributed to its eerily realistic tone. This blending of fiction and credible reports helped solidify the movie's cultural impact, making many viewers question what the government might be hiding. 3. NASA warned Spielberg not to make it. According to Spielberg, NASA was not thrilled about his plans for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He claimed the agency sent him a 20-page letter urging him not to make the film. Though the actual contents of the letter have never been publicly released, Spielberg stated that the warning was out of concern for the public's reaction. NASA reportedly feared that the movie might stir paranoia or cause people to believe too strongly in the existence of extraterrestrials. At the time, UFO sightings were frequent, and conspiracy theories about government cover-ups were already growing in popularity. Spielberg's film, which portrayed a peaceful alien contact scenario, could have fueled public curiosity or even mass hysteria. Whether or not the letter was a scare tactic or genuine caution, Spielberg took it as validation that he was onto something significant. The controversy only heightened public intrigue when the film was finally released. The iconic musical tone was scientifically designed. The 5-note musical motif used in Close Encounters of the Third Kind to communicate with the aliens became one of the most iconic elements of the film. But it wasn't chosen at random. It was the result of careful collaboration between director Steven Spielberg and composer John Williams. They wanted a simple yet memorable tune that would feel universal, almost like a mathematical or emotional key that transcended language. Williams experimented with hundreds of combinations before settling on the now famous sequence, DECCG. The idea was to convey the concept of music as a form of universal language, one that even beings from another world could understand. The motif is used throughout the film, growing from a subtle signal to a full orchestral dialogue between humans and aliens. Its emotional weight and simplicity helped anchor the film's themes of connection, wonder, and communication beyond earthly boundaries. It remains instantly recognizable today. 5. Francois Truffaut's only English language role? One of the most unexpected aspects of Close Encounters of the Third Kind is the presence of legendary French filmmaker Francois Truffaut in a major acting role. Truffaut, best known for directing classics like The 400 Blows and Jules and Jim, had never acted in an English language film before, and never would again. Spielberg, a great admirer of Truffaut's work, wanted someone with an intellectual and compassionate presence to play Claude Lacombe, the French scientist coordinating the government's UFO investigation. Despite his limited English, Truffaut accepted the role, intrigued by Spielberg's vision and the humanistic approach to alien contact. On set, Spielberg and Truffaut communicated largely through an interpreter, though Spielberg often coached him line by line. His performance added a calm, scholarly demeanor to the film and helped ground the story in an international context. It was a rare case of a world-renowned director stepping in front of the camera with purpose. 6. Richard Dreyfuss fought for the lead role. Richard Dreyfuss was not the first choice to play Roy Neary, the everyman protagonist whose life is upended after a UFO encounter. Spielberg initially considered other established actors, including Steve McQueen, Jack Nicholson, and Dustin Hoffman. However, each had reservations. McQueen admitted he couldn't cry on cue, and Nicholson felt he didn't relate to the character. Dreyfuss, who had just worked with Spielberg on Jaws, was determined to win the role. He lobbied intensely, arguing that he could capture the emotional volatility and obsession that defined Roy's journey. Spielberg was eventually swayed by Dreyfuss's passion and insight into the character. His performance delivered the emotional grounding the film needed, portraying a man torn between his family and a mysterious inner calling. Dreyfuss's portrayal of Roy added layers of complexity to the film, showing the human cost of obsession while also inviting the audience to embrace the wonder of the unknown. The massive alien mothership that descends near Devil's Tower in the film's climax is one of the most iconic visual effects in cinema history. Surprisingly, it wasn't a digital creation, but a highly detailed practical model built by special effects wizard Douglas Trumbull, who had previously worked on 2001: A Space Odyssey. The model spanned over 6 feet in length and was made from a variety of everyday materials, including model train parts, wires, and even small toys. The intricate layering and lighting gave the ship a glowing, otherworldly presence. But if you look closely, you can spot hidden objects like a tiny R2-D2, a graveyard, and even a mailbox incorporated into its design. These Easter eggs were added as a fun challenge for eagle-eyed viewers and as a way for the effects team to personalize their work. The result was a breathtaking blend of artistry, craftsmanship, and sci-fi imagination. 8. Hidden cameos on the mothership. Among the dazzling lights and intricate designs of the mothership lies a treasure trove of hidden cameos, many of which were placed there as inside jokes or subtle tributes by the visual effects team. The most famous of these is the tiny model of R2-D2, the beloved droid from Star Wars, discreetly attached to the underside of the mothership. This Easter egg served as a playful nod to Spielberg's friendship with George Lucas and their friendly rivalry in the world of science fiction. But R2-D2 wasn't alone. Other items embedded in the ship's design include a miniature model of a 2001 A Space Odyssey EVA pod, a Volkswagen Beetle, and even a tiny cemetery. These were hidden so cleverly that most viewers never noticed them until years later, when high-resolution copies and behind-the-scenes footage revealed the secrets. It's a testament to the care and humor that went into every frame of the film. 9. Spielberg regretted the original ending. In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the climax features Roy Neary, played by Richard Dreyfuss, boarding the alien mothership, seemingly leaving Earth and his family behind for good. While this ending left many audiences in awe, Spielberg later expressed deep personal regret about it. In interviews, particularly after becoming a father himself, Spielberg admitted that if he had children at the time, he never would have written an ending where a man willingly abandons his family. He began to view Roy's decision not as a heroic leap into the unknown, but as emotionally irresponsible. This reflection informed Spielberg's later work, where themes of family, loss, and reconciliation often took center stage. Despite the film's visionary storytelling, Spielberg's change in perspective shows how artists evolve with life experience. The director even adjusted the tone slightly in later cuts of the film, though the core ending remained intact. Still, his feelings about it softened over time. The film, it's had multiple versions. Over the years, Close Encounters of the Third Kind has been released in 3 major versions, each with key differences that reflect Steven Spielberg's evolving vision. The original 1977 theatrical cut introduced audiences to the story of Roy Neary and Alien Contact, but left out certain scenes Spielberg had envisioned due to budget and time constraints. In 1980, Columbia Pictures released the special edition, which included new footage, most notably a controversial interior view of the alien mothership, a scene Spielberg later wished he hadn't added, believing it robbed the mystery. Finally, in 1998, Spielberg released the collector's edition, considered the definitive version. It combined elements from both previous cuts, but omitted the interior scene, restoring the mystique. Spielberg has since declared this final version as the one he stands by. The multiple editions illustrate how storytelling, especially in science fiction, can be reshaped with time, technology, and the creator's changing perspective. 11. It was nominated for 8 Oscars. Close Encounters of the Third Kind was not only a box office success, but also a critical triumph, earning 8 Academy Award nominations in 1978. It competed in categories including Best Director for Steven Spielberg, Best Supporting Actress, Melinda Dillon, Best Art Direction, Best Visual Effects, Best Original Score, and Best Editing. Although it didn't win Best Picture, the film took home the Oscar for Best Cinematography, awarded to Vilmos Zsigmond, and received a Special Achievement Academy Award for its groundbreaking sound effects editing. John Williams' score was particularly praised for its innovative use of sound as a narrative tool. These accolades cemented the film's reputation as both a technical marvel and an emotional, thought-provoking work of art. Its success helped legitimize science fiction as a genre worthy of serious artistic recognition, paving the way for future genre classics to be taken seriously by critics and award committees alike. Those were 11 mind-blowing facts about Close Encounters of the Third Kind that might just change how you see the film forever. From secret cameos to real UFO research, there's way more to this classic than meets the eye. Got a favorite fact? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more hidden film stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, the truth might be closer than you think. Until the next Close Encounter.